So we'll start on her shawl, and she's got a little bit. I'm going to do these lines that are already provided for me and add just a little bit in there. She's got some that drapes around here behind her. Let's get some of those lines. And then we'll add Y23. And I'm just going to brush over those lines I just drew in and just add a little bit more color to that. There'll still be a little bit of white spots, but mostly most of the space will be filled in. And then we'll use our next color to finish it up, which is Y21. So I'm just going to finish the whole shawl in. Okay, and then let's go work on her dress, which I'm going to start with Y26. And I'm going to start up here at her sleeve. So I'm going to do just a little bit next to that brooch. It's going to be dark there where it's pulling it in. And then it's going to be dark where the brooch is covering up part of her dress. And she's got these great little ruffles right there in the front, so we'll give that a little bit of shading. And then her dress kind of pulls right here on the side, so I'm going to darken up this side of her dress where it's kind of scrunched up right here where there's some great little accent lines for us. And then her hand is going to cast a shadow, so I'm going to get a little bit around their fingers underneath her hand right here, and then get these little ruffles. And then it looks like it's pulling a little bit right here, so let's get a little bit right there. And then same thing down here. We got her knee coming up, casting a shadow on this little wrinkle. And then it kind of comes around and scrunches up as it comes out from behind here. Same for this side. It's kind of bunched up right here around where it's coming out from behind her. And here's a little pleat. She's got a lot of great little accents on this dress. Okay, and then I'm going to add to that with Y23, and again, like I did at the top, I'm going to, on her shawl, I'm just going to go over the little lines I just put down, adding a little bit more color. So we'll just go over our Y26. What happens is when you brush over it like that, it carries a little bit of color with it when it drags it back out. Get this side. And this pen's working really good today because I filled it up just before I decided to do the videos today. I went through some of the markers and said, do they need to have ink before I get started? Okay, and then we're going to fill in the rest of our dress with the Y21. And I'm just going to brush over the whole thing. Kind of flicking it into the middle of her dress. Bring this side in from that side. And then she's got some flowers up here in her hair too that I think I'll color a little bit yellow. So I'm going to start with my Y26, and I'm going to get these 3 little flowers right here in the front. So I'm going to get my Y26 and flick kind of just around the center part of these little ones. And then I'm going to get just inside this one down here. And then I'm going to grab Y23 and brush right over the top of that. I've left just a little bit of white at the end, and I'll fill that in with the Y23 on that big one. Or you could leave it off too, that would look really cool. And I forgot to do her brooch right here while I was down here. So I'm going to color, I just want to do, I don't want to get this flower in the middle, but she's got these little, like, things sticking out from the brooch that I'm going to get. And go right around the edge and get kind of like the little necklace part. And then we're going to go do the leaves up here in her hair. And for that we're going to use G99 and G82. I'm going to start with 99. And I want it to be darkest right here where it's coming out from behind this flower. Same with this one. I might get the underside of this one here. And then she's got this one right here next to this flower. That's actually a leaf. I'm going to give it a little bit of dark right here. Like that. And I'm going to fill that in with G82. Okay, and then for the rest of these flowers up here, I'm going to use R5. Oh, well, first let's do the inside so I don't color that by accident. And for that I used Y26. And I'm just going to get the inside a little bit of these right here, and a little bit maybe on this one. And then I'm going to fill it in with Y23. That way I won't accidentally color it when I'm putting the red on. And for my red, I'm going to do R5. I'm going to put down my red right next to this flower, and then I'm going to get the petals closest to the inside of these. It's got some lines already on there for me, so I'll go ahead and use some of those. I love it when the artist gives you a little bit of directions with the shadow lines on there for us. And then I'm going to fill that in with R12. And that's still pretty light, so I'm going to darken up just a little bit more with a little bit more R5. My flowers to be a little bit more red, so I'm going to add a little bit more on there. You don't have to. You could leave them pink. They look really cute that way too. I just want mine to be a little bit darker. Okay, and then I'm going to shade that, blend it a little bit with my R12. Soften that line just a little bit. There, that looks better. And then I'm going to color her brooch down here, the flower in her brooch. I'm going to do that with R5. And you have to be careful, it's a very small area, so I'm just going to use just the very tip of the pen. I'm trying not to get it everywhere. And I think I'll do the center of the flower there with Y21. Dab it right on there, like that. And then I'm going to shade the whole outside of the image. And to shade my images, I usually use C0, and I'm just going to go all the way around the outside. So I'm just going to make a small line, get right here in between her arm, right there where there's a little bit of backspace showing. I'm just going to go all the way around, and that just makes it, to me, makes it look like it pops up off the page a little bit more. Makes her look like she's standing out from the paper in the background a little bit more. Or you could cut her out too if you wanted to pop her up on your paper with just a pop dot. That would look really pretty. And I forgot to color her eyebrow. So I'm going to go over there and get that with W7. I also went in and I added some Spica red glitter pen to those flowers up here. That made it look really sparkly and pretty. But that's our card for this week. Which looks pretty good. And here again is the finished card. So thanks for joining me. Have a great day.